Hi everybody, it's Miss Peachy from your WCA Earth Science class, and I am making this video tutorial to show you the online version of the Heating, Land, and Water portfolio. So I do have a tutorial out there already where you can use the soil and lights and thermometers to be able to actually measure the differences between soil and water, which is land and water, and how they heat differently. There is an online version of this, however, that came out in the last couple of years, and so I wanted to make sure that you also had a video tutorial on this. So here I am in lesson 4 of your Earth Science lab, or lesson viewer, excuse me, slide 1, and I'm moving forward here to slide 3, where you can click on the link to this page. It says Lab Heating, Land, and Water. And here you'll see that there is a gizmo at the bottom that you can click on to use for this particular portfolio. Okay, first of all, here we are in my on my website, and I wanted to make sure you saw this. There's a Heating, Land, and Water template for the online version, and I'm going to open that up, and that's for your online portfolio. So you can download this as a Word document. Okay, and that's where you'll put your information for this particular portfolio. Now going back to the lesson content here, we are going to look at the gizmo. And what you're going to do is you are going to pick the different materials here that are going to represent different parts of, different types of land or water, as the case may be. Oh, here we go. I would say it in here somewhere. So it says here, use the heat gizmo to model the temperature changes of different materials due to equal amounts of radiation. It says you run the experiment with water, modeling coastal areas, wood, modeling forests, and black brick modeling deserts. It says make sure the flashlight, which models the sun, is directly above and shines straight down. Okay, so it says you're going to select the appropriate material, record the initial temperature, start and pause the simulation to get a data point in each half-hour time interval. You can reset the simulation if you miss an interval, record the final temperature, and repeat for each of the materials. And remember for this that I do have a template that I have created, and you can actually go ahead and you can download this one or open it with your Google Docs and edit it. Okay, and you can make a copy of this and, basically fill in all of the different areas. So if I go to the gizmo, first I'm going to do is kind of move myself around here, but I'm going to change the angle of the sun to 90 degrees because it asked me to do that. And then it says you're going to use water for a coastal area, wood for woods or a forested area, and black brick to represent the desert. So I'll start with water. Go ahead and put that on here. And I'm going to move again my face around here too, and I'm going to go ahead and it starts at 20 degrees Celsius. So in my data table, I would start here at 20 degrees Celsius, right? And then I set it at every half-hour interval. I don't know what's with these. This says this is doing every 20 minutes. So 20 minutes, an hour, 20 minutes, hour and 20 minutes, 2 hours. So this is doing every 20 minutes here. Okay. So let's go ahead and start it. I see how it's doing this. Ah, it goes fast. I can't seem to get the third. There we go. It's probably as fast as I could stop it. So 0.3 hours, I had 22.1 degrees Celsius. Then, oh my goodness, it's kind of a pain. There, 0.6. So I guess what you're going to need to do is just keep resetting it and trying to catch those intervals. 0.6 hours, 24.2 degrees Celsius. Continue on with this until you have the data table complete. So I have it all the way through the 3-hour mark. For water, black brick for desert and wood for forest. And then you're going to graph this. A triple line graph is expected here. So let's look and see how you would graph this. Now, remember that this is actually, right now, I have it in, I'm going to download it as a Word document. So I'm going to go ahead and put this as a Word document. If I were to do a triple line graph here, I'm going to go ahead and add on my the top of Word, I'm going to go Insert, and I'm going to insert a chart. And then the chart that I want to insert is a line with markers, this one right here. So when I do that, it is going to, it should, I'm having some difficulties here. Let's do that one more time. I'm going to get rid of that box. So there was a big box in there. So again, I'm going to insert chart, and I'm going to insert a line with markers. There we go. Now that brings it into place, and it's already defaulting to a triple line graph. So here, the tops, where it says Series 1, I'm just going to call that water. I'm going to call this one wood, and I'm going to call this one black brick. And so then these categories are just temperature, and that's in degrees Celsius. And I can put here, let's see. Nope, I lied. This is time in hours. And then this is where I'm going to put the 0.3, 0.6, 0.9, 1.2, 1.5, 1.8, 2.1, 2.4, 2.7, and 3.0. Okay, so that gives me the different times there. And then here's where I'm going to fill in the temperatures. That's all my data points. Actually, I feel like you should probably start your time at 0. So I'm gonna change this real quick. So 0, 0.3, 0.6, 0.9, 1.2, 1.5, 1.8, 2.1, 2.4, 2.7, and 3.0. All right. So I start with 0. So at 0 we had 21. At 0.3 we had 21.2. At 0.6 we had, what did we have? Do you guys remember? We had 24.2. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to graph this all the way down to the end for each one of them, and you'll end up with a triple line graph. And so that's the easiest method of making a graph using that Microsoft Office program, I think. You can just X out of this once you're done with the graph part, but you can go ahead and change the title here. There's lots of things you can do. You can add labels on the axes just by double clicking on the graph itself. And then if you go up on the top, it tells you all sorts of things you can do. You can add a chart element, different labels here, titles. So it gives you a lot of options, which is kind of nice. Okay, so that's going to be part of your end product. And then you have some questions to answer that goes along with this. So for this particular version of the portfolio, you won't need any materials. It's all done online. So feel free to use this one. It's probably going to be a little bit easier for you, although it's less hands-on. And if you have any questions or concerns, contact me via email, or you can send me or call me at extension 2204. Okay, hopefully that answers some questions and helped out some of you that did not have access to the soil and other materials. Have a great day.